Hello and welcome to the very first edition of Treelawn Talks, which is a weekly look at events and issues pertaining to the Treelawn Music Hall and Treelawn Social Club, both located in Cleveland, Ohio at 15335 Waterloo Road. My name is Eric Hansen and I'm your host, and we're thrilled to have as our very first guest Mr. Jim Lauderdale, who's performing on Thursday, February 29 at 7:30 p.m. in Treelawn Social Club. How you doing, Jim?
Great, Eric. I'm honored to be on with you.
Oh,
Thank
it's
you.
great. And full disclosure, I am a Jim Lauderdale head and had the pleasure of briefly serving as his booking agent some time ago. So he's been a hero of mine ever since, and one of the most prolific musical artists, both as a performer and as a composer. And we're just beyond thrilled that he's going to be coming to visit us. So just wanted to say what's been going on lately. And I know you're always recording and touring, and just wondered what's happening. And
Okay, wait. Now, how's this for an interviewee? You say, what's been going on lately? Uh, nothing really. No,
perfect. I love that. That's actually perfect.
nothing's going on. Yeah, just
I like
same
that.
old, same old.
I like that. I do say that Jim's one of the funniest dudes in the music business. So
Oh, come on.
no,
There's others.
no, I'll
No.
tell you, there's not many others. There's not many others. The Buddy and Jim show, though, you've been doing a lot of those.
Yes, we just taped a couple today. Since I'll be gone for a little while, we do tape some a lot of these are playlist shows, and sometimes we have guests though. So yeah, the next couple of weeks, starting next Saturday and the following Saturday, there'll be stuff we recorded today, which is still good, even though
Right,
it's not a guest, but
right.
it's we talk about the artists and songs we're playing. And a buddy I've known since 1980 when in New York City, when we were both aspiring country singers in New York, which, by the way, and I hope I'm not jumping around too much, but actually, two twice as I was trying to become a recording artist, my day job for two times was in Cleveland at the Palace Theater. The first time was this play called Pump Boys and Dinettes. There was a bunch of great people in that, and really enjoyed Cleveland a lot.
Right.
And then the second time was this show called Diamond Studs. It was this musical about Jesse James. Both of these were kind of country-ish. Diamond Studs had there was an old timey band called the Red Clay Ramblers, who also, it was, I guess it was called musicians theater in some ways. It was like we were all musicians, but had parts. And so I was Jesse James, and Sean Colvin was my wife,
Oh my,
Zerelda.
that's awesome.
And so it was a lot of fun. And we thought, and I thought too, that, hey, this is it. This is my springboard. I'm going to get a record deal out of this. Now, we had a great run there at the Palace, but then it didn't go on. There were some business issues and it didn't go anywhere else after that, unfortunately.
Right.
But anyway, so Cleveland's got a very
Awesome.
dear place in my heart.
Well, everyone's been excited. We've been talking about it a lot, and we're totally looking forward to it. Can you really quickly talk about what channel
Oh yeah, sure. That's on the Sirius XM Outlaw Country channel on
Right.
channel 60.
Okay.
And you asked what have I been up to? And I started joking,
Yeah.
but I have just finished up a new country release that probably be out in a few months. And literally tomorrow, I think it's gonna get all the packaging. We're sending all the stuff in to get it ready to put
Right.
out.
Well, they say
And
drop now. My daughters say drop. It's not put up. It drops.
that's
Point.
the new term. Yeah, that's a good
Probably
term.
not
Yeah,
new
this,
anymore if I
well,
do it, but yeah.
I'm not sure when it's going to drop,
There we go. Good call.
but or as we used to say, when the street date
That's better.
is. but it's kind of old school. I'm
Yeah.
dating myself
We're
there, but
we're in the same galaxy. So you have the you're going to be playing solo next
yes,
Thursday, the 29th, and with the shootouts are actually going to be a duo.
I love them. They kindly asked me last year to sing on a couple of things on their record, and yeah, they're awesome. I love those guys. So that'll be great. We've not actually shared the stage before
Killer.
as a group like that. So Ryan and I have this
Okay,
the singer years ago in Cleveland.
awesome.
I was coming through, I believe it was my bluegrass band we were coming through at that time. But
Good
yeah,
news.
and speaking of bluegrass, I just put out something a few months ago with a great traditional bluegrass group called the Poe Ramblin' Boys,
Hmm.
who they're fantastic. But yeah, so I'll be solo. I'm doing a little solo run, and I enjoy that a lot as well. I love this band. I've got this country band called the Game Changers, and that is Lily Mae Rishi and her brother Frank Rishi, and Lily Mae's husband Craig Smith, our producer Jay Weaver on bass, and Dave Racine on drums, and I just love playing with them. So
Awesome.
that's great too. So I kind of mix it up. I'll do
Okay.
some solo, some band things.
Yeah, I remember seeing you at the Station Inn in Nashville with kind of the with a quintet or sextet maybe with and there was the old style thing. I don't know if that's always the case where you have the one microphone and everyone kind of steps up to sing or
Hmm.
that blew my
Yeah,
really great.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. That's a great club, the station. Yeah, and,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I know you compose a lot. Does it happen under because you're under pressure or you feel like it more or how does that all work? Because you've written crazy
You
stuff.
did guess right on that, but or your instinct was right on that. A lot of times, I write as I've got studio time booked,
Right.
and which I do from time to time, and it forces me to write because otherwise I do start a lot of songs weekly, every week, but to actually sit down and finish them when you have that deadline in front of you to go in, that I mean, I just need that personally.
Oh, of course.
Um, and so yeah, so that helps a lot.
And is it kind of people are asking you to write for them or you're putting it out there or both or writing for yourself or
Mostly for myself. Occasionally somebody will say, "Hey, can we write together?" I've got some, and so then I will do that. And then sometimes though somebody will say, "Hey, do you have something? I'm getting ready to go in the studio. Do you have anything for me?"
yeah.
And so then I just kind of rack my brain a little bit and think about that person, go back through, and then send them some stuff.
Yeah. Cool. I had the pleasure of being at the one of the Americana conferences in Nashville with you, and I have to say I always boast that I tagged along with you, and you're the king of Nashville, really. When you walk around with
Oh
Jim,
no,
when you walk around with
oh
Jim
no, Eric,
Lauderdale,
not King, not King.
stop
No,
tracking. You know you
that's
do.
too.
You stop tracking. Anyway, I'm really intrigued by the term Americana. It's kind of one of these relatively new things. We do a lot of jazz at the Treelawn, and there are always these debates about terminology and genres, and when there used to be record stores about where to classify things. What's your take on Americana? Is it helpful? Is it growing? Is the definition under dispute, or is it a useful term, do you think?
Okay, well, getting back to the first question
Sorry.
with that several pronged question, I'll just go like a good interviewee. I'll just go, yeah, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, yeah. No, it to me that term Americana means it's like an umbrella term covering American roots music, which could be uh, roots rock, folk, country, bluegrass, and soul, R&B, and to my ears, it's just whatever isn't like super produced or just a rootsier sound.
Right.
Of course, everything evolves. When I say rootsier sound, I mean and I say not overproduced either. It's. But I think that kind of covers it
Sure.
basically. But of course, it can be international as well.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of great artists that fit that are come from other countries.
Sure.
But it's real helpful, I think, to the artists because it's there's a radio format around it. So there's stations across the country and internationally that play. So like years ago, for instance, I would think, where's Guy Clark and Joe Ely and gonna get played, and Emmy Lou, like folks, and some folks, where's Johnny Cash and Merle Haggard and gonna get played on the radio? Where are some of these newer artists that don't fit mainstream country, that don't fit mainstream rock radio? How can they, where do they get some kind of a bandstand, no pun intended? So Americana's been really helpful with that, and I think it's growing definitely.
That's awesome. Cool. Well, so I was surprised that it seemed like the kind of term that had been around for a long time. So it was kind of funny to learn that. All right. Well, thanks so much, Jim. I know this was kind of short notice, but I couldn't have
Come on,
chosen a better
hey,
first subject.
hey, come on, you're talking. Hey, Eric, come on, you're talking to me. Come on, it can't. You. Hey, listen, my friend. I'll tell you something. You want to talk to me? You call me right on the spot, a
Okay.
minute
I love it.
advance. That's all I need.
You're
You
too kind.
can't be too advanced.
You are too
So
kind. So,
thank you
yeah,
for
we can't wait to
having
see
me,
you.
and looking forward to it. And you be safe out there.
Yeah, thanks.
And yeah, folks, come on out.
Yeah, this Thursday, February 29th. There's not many February 29ths, and it's at 7:30 p.m. You can come to the Treelawn, thetreelawn.com to buy tickets, and starts at 7:30 p.m. with the shootouts, followed by Jim Lauderdale. And thanks. This has been Treelawn Talks, and my name's Eric Hansen. Thanks again, Jim.
Thank you, Eric.